All right, let's get into it. Today, we are diving deep into the massive neo-noir epic that is Krusty Krucifixion. We're going to break down all 5 seasons of its absolutely insane world-spanning conspiracy, and we're going to start with the one line that changed absolutely everything. And this is it. This is the line from the season 1 finale that takes what you thought was a political murder mystery and just turns it completely on its head. It reveals the true, terrifying scope of the story and redefines everything that the characters and, all of us watching thought we knew. But to really get why that line is such a game changer, we have to rewind. Let's go right back to the beginning, to a crime that was designed to look simple, but yeah, it was anything but. Okay, so the whole story kicks off with what looks like a super clean, professional hit on Senator Mark Callum. Investigator Rex Harlan is on the case, and his search takes him to the senator's yacht. But look how fast this thing just completely unravels. By day 5, they find this mysterious coded ledger called the book. And then by day 10, boom, the first huge twist drops. The victim wasn't just some corrupt politician, he was secretly an informant for the FBI. Now, at the very heart of this mystery is the book. And we're not just talking about a list of names and bank accounts here. No, this thing is like the engine for the entire series. It is filled with these ancient, mythic symbols and patterns that somehow seem to predict events. It's part financial record, part prophecy. So this is our core group, the ones trying to make any sense of it all. You've got Rex Harlan, the classic, dogged investigator. Then there's Dawn Callum, the senator's daughter who basically inherits this absolute nightmare. You've also got Missy Persons, a witness from the yacht who just sees patterns that nobody else can. And finally, Zach Kane, the tech genius who becomes the essential decoder for all of the book's secrets. And this leads us to the first really major shift in the story, the whole investigation into the senator's death. It just pivots. The focus shifts away from the dead father and onto the 2 young women he left behind, as Dawn and Missy go from being simple witnesses to being the #1 threat. And here we see the conspiracy just get bigger and bigger. The team starts out thinking they're just chasing corruption in one political party, the Wolf Party. But then they discover the opposition, the Polar Bear Party, is just as deep in it. And the horrifying truth, this isn't about partisan politics at all. It's one single, hidden network that's controlling both sides. And this is where the show really leans into that deep-seated modern fear, that all the political fighting we see is just for show, and the real power is hiding somewhere else completely. So as the conspiracy grows, so do Dawn and Missy's roles. I mean, they start as these traumatized witnesses, but then they start becoming active decoders, helping Zach pull real meaning out of the book. And by the end of season 2, they are so far from being victims. They're the ones on the offensive, confronting senators, leaking information, and becoming a genuine threat to this whole cabal. And when you poke a conspiracy of this size, well, it always pokes back. The retaliation is swift and it is personal. Rex gets suspended, Dawn is threatened directly, Missy's home gets searched, and Zach's servers are breached. All of a sudden, the stakes aren't just professional anymore. They are life and death. Now this is the moment the entire show just pivots. The political thriller we all thought we were watching, it just cracks wide open, and the story goes from being about a conspiracy to something almost, well, cosmic. The entire 3rd season revolves around this single haunting question. This word, the lattice. It starts popping up everywhere. In the code, in old notes, in whispers. You just know it's the key to the next level of this whole crazy mystery. And then we get this bombshell from a dying informant. The lattice wasn't some secret internet or financial network that the cabal created. It's an ancient structure they just discovered and then learned how to use. I mean, think about what that means. The cabal isn't just making stuff up as they go. They are following a pre-existing mathematical blueprint that can actually predict geopolitical events. They aren't just a group of powerful men. They are the operators of an ancient system. It is such a chilling idea, and it feels so relevant today. That feeling that our lives are governed not just by people, but by these complex, invisible systems, whether they're algorithms or, ancient blueprints. So what happens when you start trying to dismantle a system that's been running the world from the shadows for centuries? Well, it doesn't just lie down and die. The system awakens. And season 4 is all about this awakening. Rex leads a raid that uncovers a perfect replica of the yacht, which they were apparently using for training. The true mastermind, a figure known only as the Architect, finally emerges from the shadows. The human members of the cabal start to fracture under all the pressure. And then it happens. A global broadcast signal activates, and the system starts to go public. The architect delivers this absolutely bone-chilling message, and it completely reframes our heroes' entire journey. Their investigation wasn't about solving a crime. It was an act of provocation that just poked a sleeping giant. They weren't just detectives, they were disruptors. So this all leads us to the 5th and final season. The system is awake, the architect is out in the open, and our small team has to face it all head-on. This is the final reckoning. And here it is, the final, stunning twist. That global broadcast that awakened the system, it wasn't the cabal's endgame. It was a dead man's switch, a trap set by Senator Mark Callum years before his own death, all to expose everything. The very first victim was actually the final architect of the system's downfall. And now each character steps into their final, almost mythic role to finish what Callum started. Dawn becomes the inheritor, deciphering her father's last message. Missy, the seer, finally puts together the complete picture. Zach, the decoder, finds the key to make the entire lattice collapse. And Rex, the enforcer, is there to clean up all the human wreckage. So the system is destroyed. The cabal is in ruins. The book, this mysterious guide through this whole journey, finally completes its cycle, but not before it offers one last chilling warning: a new name, a new threat. Which leaves us and the characters with this massive, lingering question. I mean, after you've toppled a global, almost cosmic conspiracy, what on earth could possibly happen next? And the series answers with this final, perfect shot. A new file lands on Rex Harlan's desk, signaling that the end of one war is simply the beginning of another. It's a perfect handoff to the next chapter. And what makes this all so fantastic is that you can experience this entire epic for yourself. Krusty Krucifixion is a literary TV series from creator Claudia Reid, and the complete 5-season story is being released on Patreon tomorrow, April 16th, 2026. Get ready for a deep, deep dive.